Hey guys, it's Calvin, also known as Romer, and this is my top 50 favorite games of all time, 40 to 31. Now, there's not much to say about this. I talked about in the last one. There is going to be a lot of cheating. There's going to be like, sometimes I put two games in the same slot because I feel like they deserve to be there together. This is my personal list. If you disagree with it, that's fine. You can tell me you disagree with it. In fact, I want you to someone last time just put like all the games in a row and just said what they like about them, what they hate about them. And that was an interesting discussion I had with that person, and I actually like that. I actually like that type of thing. So do that if you would like. There's gonna be some weird games here. There's gonna be some games you're like, why would you put that there? And all of it, we all have weird games that we like. We all have weird games that we love. We all have games that we hate. This is 40 to 31. At number 40, it's Bioshock Infinite and Bioshock. It's not surprising why these games are in the list. I think a lot of people would have these games in their top favorite games of all time. For me, the reason why it's at number 40 is because I think I've kind of grown out of that style of playing, of that style of video game. And not that it's like for younger people, because it's definitely not. Bioshock is not a game for younger people, and Bioshock Infinite is not a game for younger people. It's just that sometimes we change the type of game that we play. I think I talked to a few people a while back about that type of thing, how you're conditioned to play a different game when you go back and play and you're like, this is not my type of game anymore, even though I love it to pieces. The themes in the game are still top notch in Bioshock. In Bioshock Infinite, I think they're even better. But I think what makes them so equal in my mind and so good in my mind is that both like setting in the game is just so unique, and it's something that like people have tried to, I think, recreate it in some ways and still can't. And I really hope that Levine goes out and makes another game soon. I really do. I want to play another Bioshock game. There's a reason why Bioshock 2 isn't on this part of the list, or even close to this part of the list. Is because I loved that game when it came out, and I think that game got a lot of unnecessary hate. But the more I look back on it, I feel like it's just Bioshock through the motions. It's just like, oh, here's the kind of scary voice over the intercom. Here's the kind of like questioning, your morality type thing, which that whole game, that both games are about. Like, both games are questioning you as a player. And as much as like I can have complaints, and I do have complaints about those endings of both games, I still think that they're shocking, and they gave me goosebumps, and I still think about them a lot. Not all the time, but I do think about them at least like once a week, which means I think it has a bit of an impact on me. At number 39, it's Tales of Zesteria. I think last time I spent too much time going like, this is my personal favorite. But the thing is, like, every single game that you look at is, good or bad. What you feel is your opinion, and that is right no matter what. There's games that I absolutely, like, loathe playing, but some people call them the greatest games of all time, and they're not wrong. I'm not wrong. We're not wrong. We can like any games we want. It's just that simple. If tomorrow I came out and said that Bubsy was the greatest game of all time, you could say I disagree, but no one could say that I was wrong. And yes, there are things you can say, oh, well, this is like objectively bad about a video game, and that's great. That's fantastic, and like, that's an opinion. We all have opinions. We have opinions if objective, like, badness is a thing and all like that. But to me, Tales of Zesteria, I love with all my heart, and this is the last time I'm going to like explain it in this way, because I don't want people to get the wrong idea that I'm saying like this is definitively, like, objectively the greatest like number 39, the 39 greatest game of all time, the 39th greatest game of all time. Tales of Zesteria is a bright and colorful game. It's a really, really beautiful JRPG. It was my first ever Tales game of a series that I really, really do like. To me, I connected with the two characters on a level that I guess it's just because, like, we all have our own relationships in real life that like really manifest into the game, and we can actually like put ourselves through like this kind of like first person view of the character, even though we're playing a third person JRPG, and I feel like I connected with the main character a lot. Again, like a lot of the story points, a lot of the beats, and a lot of the little like cool things that happen are very kind of typical But to be honest, sometimes we need to play a typical JRPG and sometimes we need to play a typical game, and I'm like 110% okay with that. And that's why when people like say like, oh, they should change this, again, that's how they feel and I can't change how they feel about that, but I feel like we should just leave that little JRPG that could to do its little thing. Just let it play along, just let it do what it wants, just let it be a silly JRPG that's like really typical and stuff like that. That's what it's for. I play them like once every 2 years and like they warm my heart, and I still love this game so much, even though I played it I think around 2016.
I entrust the task entirely to you. Teach those who speak of a savior the futility of their hope.
Here is a late entry to this list, and that's Ni no Kuni. It's a game that I just finished about a month ago. I started playing it over the Easter holidays. This is a really special game. This is really special, and that's the perfect word to describe it. It is a special game. I can't believe that I bought this 4 years ago and never decided to play it. There's something wrong in my head. And it is a long game, but it's not that long. I think it took me like 50 hours to complete, but if you think of it in like modern JRPG terms, like that is like a short game by now, by like today's standards, even though I 100% think that we should lower the standard of how long games should be. Ni no Kuni like made me bawl my eyes out. It made me like curl into a ball, not literally, but like made me like want to curl into a ball and like just forget about the world for a long time. Oliver is such a great character to play as. The characters that you have coming with you actually have like real emotional depth, and they feel like real people that are following you around the place. You develop a relationship with Mr. Drippy, which is like this little stuffed teddy bear that comes to life, who's actually like this kind of like weird like creature that you can find a bunch of them on this island. It's every single area was interesting. The fact that the world becomes so open later on in the game is something that I love about any RPG. I love when like at the start of the game you're limited to where you can go. I like being limited sometimes. Being limited is fun because it means you don't have this like big world map to like worry about. You get an area by area by area, and then towards the end of the game they basically open up the whole thing and say like, now you can just explore this whole thing and get stuff done. Which to me is like the perfect way to do things. Limit people at first. It's like the way Resident Evil locks doors. Lock as much doors as you like, just let me explore piece by piece by piece. Ni no Kuni's fantastic. It's amazing. I can't believe I waited this long to play it.
Hate to break it to you, kid. You're dead. Work for me, and I'll return you to life.
Again, a game I only played in the past like 2 years. I bought it on the 3DS on sale for like €27, and this was like a real bargain. I really have gotten into like the Shin Megami Tensei series, I think, because of Persona. But again, this is a very weird game. It's at first I was kind of like, I don't think I'm gonna be like as into this game as other people are. There was like this like talking horse with like these feathers in the back, and he's like this like really effeminate horse, and I was like, okay, I think I'm done. And I like, as soon as I turned it off, I was like, okay, I'm not done. I really want to go back and play this. It has a really good battle system, like all Shin Megami Tensei games do. It has like the exploration, I think, again, is done right, and I think it's the best way, because it's why Shin Megami Tensei Persona 3 Portable is so good. Sometimes it's just better to just let us see a map and choose where to go on the map. I much prefer that in a lot of ways to just like having to wander around like by myself aimlessly. Yeah. Again, like the enemy design is really cool. The weapon system is really awesome, that like, you know, you not only collect weapons throughout time, but you get to buy weapons. The costumes are not great, but like I think after a while I learned to love them. I'm the type of person that needs my character to look cool. In Dark Souls I don't wear like good armor, I wear the armor for fashion. It's always fashion in these games. If an armor is like, you know, has 20 more defense in the game but looks bad, I'm not going to put it on. But in this case, like, I had to. You have to, because each armor after the first one looks freaking terrible. There's like a football outfit, like a football star outfit. There's like a full lab coat that you have to wear on this like little 15-year-old boy. It's strange. I shouldn't be talking about this because I'm talking about why it's on this part of the list, why it's number 37. But again, another game that like you can connect with all the characters. All the characters are different and have their own personalities. They're not just like archetypes of like, this is the mean guy, and this is the good guy, and this is your best friend. Even though they have like that kind of elements to it, they do like, you know, they do like flesh them out a little bit better. Also, they use Irish mythology in this game, and I'm Irish, so I guess I gotta back it up. At number 36 is Mario Kart Wii. A game, I remember I got the Wii when I was younger for Christmas. Me and my sister both got it at the same time, and I got Mario Kart Wii with it, and like, I don't remember like putting that down for the full day. I remember like being upset that I had to eat Christmas dinner, which is strange for me because I love Christmas dinner. Mario Kart Wii to me is like one of the best racing games of all time. In fact, I truly believe it is the greatest racing game of all time. I have not played Mario Kart 8, I'll admit it, and I have not played any other Mario Karts, but I have played a lot of racing games, and to me it's just head and shoulders above the rest. I had so much fun playing this. Not only that, but like it's one of those games that has like sentimental value because I played the shit out of it with my little sister, and I played the shit out with other people as well. And not only that, but I got the wheels with it. Like I got a knockoff wheel and the real wheel that comes with it, and unlocking the characters. Man, this game, it's a fantastic game. I think I played it on my channel. If you guys want to watch it, I'll put it in the description. But I really love this racing game, and I think I talk about it more in that video. But yeah, I don't think I have to justify it more than I think it's the greatest racing game of all time.
The decreed hour is come. Set forth with my blessing, Prince Noctis.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
When the night has come and Calvin makes you cringe. This is Final Fantasy 15. Like, honestly, Final Fantasy 15 is a game that a lot of people have problems with, and to me that's like understandable. I understand the problems with the game. At its core, I think this game is about 4 friends going on a road trip that like goes haywire, and that sounds like a 90s movie or an early 2000s movie that like was really bad. But in this case, it's really heartwarming. It's really fantastic. Prompto is the greatest character I think in all of media, just in movies, TV, across anime, everything. He's just the greatest character ever. I'm gonna piss someone off by saying that. Like again, a lot of my favorite things about video games are connection. Like if I can connect with your character, then it means a lot more to me than, and like, you know, you know, you can have a great battle system, and I will play your game in full, and I think a lot of games are an example of that. But the reason why I get pushed forward in a lot of ways in some games is the connection with the characters, and I wanted to learn more about these guys. I wanted to see more of their quest. I wanted to like play more of the game, and the gameplay is good as well. Like as soon as you collect all of those like spiritual weapons or whatever, celestial weapons, it's so much fun just to like freaking like wreck people in that system. And of course like summoning is good as well in this game. It really is like a progression. I think more than ever I am excited to see what Final Fantasy does next, which is more than I could say for the past couple of years. I think I kind of abandoned that series and kind of went like, it's over, and then Final Fantasy 15 came out and I was like, yes, I am 110% okay with how they're going with the series, and it actually makes me pretty excited for Final Fantasy VII Remake, even if it is episodic. .34 is Xenoblade Chronicles 3D. I say 3D because I played this on the 3DS and I don't want to like make mistakes and people might be like, well, I played it on the Wii and it was bad. But the 3DS version of this game is fantastic. And I think, I don't want to say the price, but I think it was like €30, but like it was, again, such a steal for this game. I spent 93 hours in this game, which again still is, I think, my longest playthrough of a video game ever in a single player setting. Again, I'm just gonna say it, the side quests in this game are bad. They're bad side quests. It's the type of side quest I hate, which is like, collect 6 mushrooms from the waterfall area, and it's like, and it takes like forever to do it, and like there's so many of those things, and like the thing is, it would be grand if like you could just like turn it onto like a really low level of difficulty and just like race through the game. But you actually, like, I felt like, for personally anyway, because maybe I'm just not that good of a video game player, but I had to like do all the side quests just to be able to defeat some of the enemies, because again, I wasn't that good at the combat. I think I only started getting good at the final boss. But again, as I said, it's about connection, and these characters are freaking amazing. Again, a lot of people think the voice acting is really bad, and but I just think that they haven't played those type of games before. Like, we all know that the best type of voice acting is like British voice acting from like the late 90s to early 2000s in video games. You know, like when every character's like, alright there, Shoke, you know, like that. It's even though like it's not always fantastic, it like warms my heart to hear that, and it's probably one of the reasons why I love Dragon Quest VIII as well so much. Again, like the combat at first was really jarring, but then I like really got used to it and actually fell in love with it. I think that's one of the things that puts people off this game. But I love Xenoblade Chronicles, and I don't think I'll ever play it again because it's so long. But I am like, I think one of the reasons why it's put on this so much is because I was watching someone else play it recently, and like they were totally fine watching the ending, and then I'm just there breaking down. So obviously it did something to me.
知らないって約束してくれたもんね。
もはや俺とお前たちとの間に。
The Legend of Heroes: Trails of Cold Steel 2. The combat system in this game is astoundingly beautiful. It is so much fun to like get into, and if you find it like a groove with a bunch of characters that you really like, it works extremely well. And I think one of the bad things about like some modern RPGs is that like not every single character is useful. I recently played a game where like I left out like a bunch of characters, and even though I love Persona, you can like play those games and leave out like 4 characters for the entire game and survive that game, and not only survive it but do extremely well. But like one of the like Final Fantasy X, which is one of my favorite games of all time, like you had to use every single character, and in this you don't, like, again, you probably won't have to use every single character towards the end, but like they force you to use all the characters, and all the characters have different like types of move sets, have different weapons. Like some people have great swords, some people have like rapiers, some people have like staffs, and they kind of like make you go on these field trips because you are basically a military student. But in this, of course, you're not a military. I don't want to spoil anything. In this, of course, you're like, you know, you're going around like these different towns, and basically you'll go on different missions, and someone will be like, hey, you 3 go off to this farmland and try and fight this monster and defeat these bad guys. And you have to like adapt to these new guys. You can't just like pick the team you had always. And I still like I played this on the Vita, and again, I love every single character in this game. I love every single part of this game. There was not one part of the game where I was like, I am bored. I was never bored. And again, it has a combination of not only a great story, not only a fantastic twist, not only like these fantastic story beats, but it also has one of the best battle systems I've seen in a JRPG like ever. And I could not recommend this game enough. Next on the list is Guitar Hero. I don't think I need to explain anything else other than that. It's just Guitar Hero. It's fantastic. It's fun. Everyone loves Guitar Hero. How could you not play this game? It's great.
She's back.
Resident Evil
7. Yeah. Resident Evil 7 is number 31 in this list. It is to me, it is the revolution of horror games, and it is the bringing it back to the time when horror games, to me, were at their best, when choice was involved. The greatest thing that like horror games used to do was give you a choice. Now it's usually, in the era of kind of like independent horror games, it's run from the enemy, which to me isn't scary anymore. Personally, that's just my personal opinion. I don't find it scary like knowing that the only option is run or hide. That's not what makes the game scary to me. The thing that makes Resident Evil so scary, and to me what it makes the scariest horror game series of all time, is that you have a choice in the early games and in this game whether you should shoot or you should run. And that is much scarier. The fact that like the choice is in your hands. Should you waste your ammunition? The fact that like ammunition is so important in these games makes it even scarier. Resident Evil 7 was a joy to go through. It was a treat. It was so much fun. Like it's indescribable how much fun it was to go through the Baker Mansion. And then after that, when it went down to the oh well, I can't spoil it, but we went to a different place, and even at that, like, it reminded me of the original Resident Evil games when you go to the lab and it's like, what the, like, this was under this mansion this whole time, and then like you see the big shark and it's like rah, rah, and like, oh my god, I can't describe how much I love Resident Evil 7. Again, I kind of like a shameless plug, but I have a playthrough of that game on my channel. I I can't describe how amazing like both playthroughs of my game of that game were for me. Again, as I said, choice matters. Choice matters so much in a horror game, and in this sense, it mattered the most. I cannot wait for Resident Evil 8. I cannot wait to see what they're going to do next. Every single moment and movement of this game and every single little thing I'd done in this game, I was having so much fun, and it's so freaking good. It's so fantastic. And like there's a reason why it got so much accolades. And the thing is, like, yeah, this was a forced change for the series, but like it was a good thing. It was one of the only times where I can actually say that like people like shouting their heads off was actually a good thing. Resident Evil 6 came out and it wasn't what anyone wanted. I remember playing through Leon's campaign and being like, this is great, and like playing through the rest and I was like, this is just Killzone with like zombies. Nothing wrong with Killzone. I just didn't expect it for a Resident Evil game. I really love Resident Evil 7, and I think that it was the right thing to do for that series. And I could go on for days on how much I think the weapon system is good. I think the puzzles are so reminiscent of the first Resident Evil game. Like, I'm clutching my heart because this is what horror should be, and it's what survival horror should be. It's what it always should have been. And the thing is, like, again, people will probably be like, I don't like this type of horror, I prefer Outlast, or I prefer like the type of horror that's like I was about to say fake psychological, but I don't think it's actually like fake. I think it's like, you know, it's real in some sense, of where it's like, hey, I messed with your mind, what do you think of this? It's like sometimes I just like want to like wonder if I'm going to survive the next move around the hallway, not if my mind's going to be fucked. Like, you know, sometimes it just doesn't work like that. Yeah, Resident Evil 7. So that was my entire list of my 40 to 31 favorite games of all time. Again, like, I have a hard time explaining exactly why I love these games, and I did want to write a script because I feel like then it just like it's disingenuous. I'm using words that I never really would use. I will see you guys for the next one, which will be 30 to 21, which means we have 3 parts left of this, and then we're going to be doing the community video. If you agree with my picks, let me know. If you think that I'm an idiot, let me know. If you disagree with everything in my list, if you agree with stuff, please let me know as well. That's what's so cool about the comment section. It allows for discussion, and we love discussion. See you very soon. Bye-bye.